If Grandma lived to 90, eating large sugar and rice every day, why can't I? It's a question that echoes in many families, passing from kitchen to kitchen, generation to generation. There's a sepia-tone nostalgia that colors our memories of the past, wrapping old recipes and family meals in a comforting glow. But is the way we used to eat really the healthier way? Or is there more to the story than what's written in Grandma's worn cookbook? For many seniors, food is more than sustenance. It's a living connection to their roots, their memories, and the people they've loved. To suggest changes in their diet can feel deeply personal, almost like asking them to turn away from the very traditions that shaped them. We hear phrases like, "I grew up on this, and it never hurt us." It's said with pride and a hint of defiance. But what if we could explore this belief together, gently and with genuine respect? Let's take a loving, honest look at the myth of the good old days diet and discover how we can honor our heritage without sacrificing our health. Why does the past feel so safe, especially when it comes to food? For our elders, meals weren't just about eating. They were about survival, celebration, and family unity. Recipes were handed down not just for flavor, but for comfort and connection. So, when we question the food, we're often seen as questioning the family itself. That's why any conversation about changing old habits should begin with empathy, not argument. But let's look a little closer at the facts. The world Grandma grew up in was fundamentally different. Back then, people burned a staggering amount of energy every day, often over 2,000 calories just from manual labor alone. Whether it was farming, walking to school, or doing housework without modern appliances, their bodies needed and used every bit of that hearty food. Today, most of us, including our seniors, are far less active. The same meal that once fueled a day in the fields now sits heavy on a body that spends more time seated than moving. The food didn't change, but the lifestyle did. And that means the rules have to change too. It's also true that while food was less processed in the past, it wasn't always safer. Before refrigerators were common, salt was used to preserve meats, and lard was a staple because vegetable oils were rare or expensive. These methods were solutions to the limitations of their time, not necessarily the healthiest choices available. Now, we have the luxury of safer, fresher ingredients, but old habits can be hard to break. And while we cherish the image of long-lived grandparents, it's important to remember that life expectancy was much shorter in previous generations. Many health issues linked to traditional diets, like heart disease or diabetes, weren't diagnosed simply because people didn't live long enough for symptoms to appear. Medical science has advanced, and so has our understanding of nutrition. But this isn't about abandoning tradition. In fact, it's about preserving its spirit in smarter, more sustainable ways. We can still cook with heart, using all the love and care our ancestors did, just with better tools and knowledge. Swap lard for olive oil. Reduce salt, but boost flavor with fresh herbs. Use the natural sweetness of fruits instead of added sugar. Small changes can make a big difference without losing what makes a dish special. So, how can families approach this delicate topic? Start by validating those beloved recipes. "I love that dish too. It's part of our story." Then reframe the conversation. Let's make it lighter so we can enjoy it together for years to come. Involve elders in the process. Ask them to teach old recipes and work together to create healthier versions. And always explain the why, not just the what. I want you strong, not just full. The good old days gave us flavor, community, and comfort. But today, with love and knowledge, we can carry those memories forward into healthier, more joyful years. Because honoring tradition isn't about repeating every habit, it's about growing and evolving together.